If you've ever wanted to make an attachment for a broomstick, you probably already know that it's not so easy to make that internal thread that matches the broomstick thread. You have to know the number of threads per inch, you have to know the correct diameters, you have to create the proper form on the threading tool, you have to run the lathe backwards because you're going into a blind hole and you don't want to crash. I have an easier way to make that attachment for the broomstick. And we're going to go over to the workshop right now and take a look at what that is. Well, to start with, you're going to need about 4 inches of this 3/4 inch water line. And we'll cut off about 4 inches right now. So here's our 4-inch piece of 3/4 inch water line. If you have a burr on the end, you might want to clean it up just a little bit. And what we're going to do is heat the end of this with a heat gun. Just an inch or two at the end. We don't want to melt it, we just want it to be a little bit softer and malleable than what it is. If we don't get it right the first time, we can always do it again. But you don't want to completely melt this stuff. Now that should be warm enough now. What we're going to do with that now is screw it on to our broomstick. Just kind of get it started and then rotate it as if it were threaded. When it gets to the end, it's going to stop all by itself. Now we'll just take that and run a little cold water over top of that. So now it's cool, we can touch it. We should be able to unscrew that. Trying to pull it off, it just doesn't work. You've got to unscrew that right off of there. And inside, you'll note that really you can't see any evidence of threading. But it sticks, it works, and it works quite nicely too. And put it back on. And you can take it on and off as many times as you want. Now that's 1/2 of the adapter. Whatever we're going to adapt to this broomstick, we've got to use the other end of this to put something there to accept whatever tool we're going to add to the assembly. So this is the tool that I want to add. What it is it's all aluminum and it's designed to accept a piece of this Scotch-Brite, if you want to call it. It's a scrubbing pad, and it just sticks on there like that. It's going to go on the end of that broom, and I'm going to be able to kind of scour the tile floor where something has spilled that won't come off of the mop. So I'm making an attachment for this that goes on the other end of the broomstick, and by the way, I made this out of 2-inch by, well, they call it a quarter. It's about 237 thousandths thick. That's what this is made out of. But we're going to make an attachment out of some, I think this is, well, let's just check. This is 750, that's 3/4 inch aluminum rod. We're going to make an adapter that fits on this end. So if we measure this end, we're going to see that in my case at least, different brands might be a little different. We've got about 662 thousandths. So we want to go about 18 to 20 thousandths bigger than whatever this measures. And we're going to put this on the lathe and turn that down to that size. We're going to, maybe an inch or inch and a half, press fit into this. And we'll use the same method. We're going to heat it up and it's going to slide in like a piece of cake. So we'll get to doing that right now. The other end of this will be designed, the other end of this bar will be designed to have this slide into a slot. So we'll get that done right now. And here we've got about 4 inches of PEX type water line. It's a 3/4 inch water line. And we're going to try to press this aluminum shaft into it. And we're going to heat it up a little bit first. Just get a little bit warm and make it easier for it to go in there, because it's about an 18 thou press fit. Which is, if it were metal, we'd have a little bit of a problem doing this, but I think if we heat this up, it's probably going to go in pretty nice. We're pretty close now. I think that maybe ought to do it. Let's see how that goes. Oh, like a breeze. No problem at all. Alright, now we've got that pressed in, we can put it right on the end of the broomstick by just screwing it on. And that is nice and solid and firm. Good fit. Now all we have to do is attach our tool, and we've already made the slot for that, and the drilled and tapped a hole in here. I used an 832 screw to go through the end of this. Well, that screw fell off and went under the workbench, but we've got it on now, and you can see this moves back and forth, and we can just put that on the floor and scrub with it. So if you wanted to make one of these things, this is the Scotch-Brite stuff. This is Velcro. Comes in a box. Inside the box you'll find the part with the little hooks on it, which you just cut off to length. And if you need the other half, the I don't know what you call it. It's more of a fabric than a hook, but it sticks to this stuff. There are a lot of different applications for this thing. You might want to attach a window washing squeegee to the end of here so you can get up higher on your windows. You could put a hook on here for pulling on something. Or maybe you need something to slide into the back of your pickup truck with a little bit of a hook or claw on it that you can get things easily out of there when the cap is on the back of your truck. And it's very easy to make this a few minutes rather than hours perhaps on a lathe trying to get that thread right.